Hello and welcome to this session of Age Well Yoga. I'm Sue and tonight I have a 1 hour sequence for you that's designed to provide real strong foundations for you. So connecting through your root chakra and your feet, we're going to create strong connection to the earth. So think about those things as we're going through the poses. But to get started, just sit comfortably either in Sukhasana, easy sit, or you might have your legs stretched straight out in front of you, whichever is the most comfortable for you. And start to take in your surroundings and connect to your breath. Start to notice your breath coming in and out of your nostrils. And as you breathe in, notice the expansion through your chest. As you breathe out, notice the connection of your sit bones to the mat, to the earth. Breathing in, belly extends, chest is broad. And breathing out, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in and expanding, taking in beautiful, clean energy. And exhaling, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Just notice your connection to the ground beneath you. And you might like to open your eyes if you have them closed and just drop your hands beside you, palms up. And then inhale, stretch your arms wide out to the side, up overhead, palms facing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. Stretching through the side body, and then exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhaling, stretching out. Exhaling, hands above the head, stretching up tall, and then exhaling, hands to heart center. And just keep your hands there for a moment and notice the connection again with your sit bones to the earth and the energy traveling up your spine, all the way up the spine to your shoulders, up the back of your neck to your skull. And notice your crown stretching tall up to the sky, creating space in between each vertebrae. Inhale, have your hands next to your palms up. Stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. And then exhale, lowering your left hand down to the left side and point your right fingers over to the left. Stretching through the side bodies. From your left buttock all the way, from your right buttock all the way up to your right fingertips. Inhale, stretch up, hands up, tall, and then exhale to the other side. Left fingertips pointing to the right, stretching through the left side body. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, sweep your hands behind you. Fingers pointing away. Plant your hands on the mat behind you. Squeeze your elbows and shoulders together and look up at the ceiling, stretching through the front of the body. Take a deep breath here, expanding through the chest. Exhaling, feeling the earth on your ankles, your feet. And the next inhale, stretch your arms up above your head. And exhale, rain your hands down in front of you, bending from the hips. On your next inhale, stretch your crown forward. And on the exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest, looking at the ground or your navel as you soften down. And take a couple of breaths here. Slowing down, letting go of everything that's happened today. And then inhale, walk your hands in and then stretch them up above your head. Exhale, looking to the left And your right hand is on the outside of your left leg. And you drop your other hand behind you for a twist. Inhale and lengthen through the spine. And exhale, twisting from the middle, from your solar plexus. Inhale, tall through the spine. And exhale, looking over your shoulders. Inhale and come back to center, hands above the head. Stretching tall, and then exhale, go to the other side. Left hand to the outside of the right leg. Dropping the other hand behind you. And again, stretching tall on the inhale. And twisting a little further on the exhale. Lengthening through the spine. And softening into the twist. Inhale, come to center, hands above the head, stretching up, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Just take a couple of moments here. Shoulders away from the ears. To notice how you're feeling, what's arising for you at this moment. And then come into tabletop position. Hands under the wrists, under the shoulders, and the knees under the hips. Feet pointing straight back, pressing into the mat. So your crown is stretching forward and your tailbone is stretching back. We'll do a couple of cat-cows here. Inhale, draw a line up with your nose towards the sky, dropping the belly to the mat, hips up to the sky. And then exhale, going into cat, pushing the earth away from you and tucking in the tail. Inhale, coming into cow. Broad across the collarbones. And exhale for cat. And inhale, come back to neutral spine, tabletop. Bump your hips to the right and look over your right shoulder towards your hip. So stretching the hips and the side body. Come back to center and then bump your hips to the left and look to the left. Wonderful. Good work. And come back to tabletop. We'll have right hand shining forward now, straight forward. Palm facing to the left, and the left leg stretching back. Nice and strong. Stretching from the right fingertips all the way through to the left heel. Stretching, stretching, nice and strong in the core. And relaxing those hands and that hand and knee down. Left hand now and right leg. Stretching left fingers forward. Toes pointing down, right toes pointing down, hips still parallel with the mat. Stretching out. Navel tracks inwards towards the body. Keep breathing. Inhale, stretch along, and exhale to release. Now I'll do threading the needle. So preparing first, inhale, stretch the right arm out to the side, up to the sky, and exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Keeping with the right side, inhale, raise your right arm out to the side, up to the sky, and this time threading it under your left arm, palm facing up. Have your right right side of the face on the floor. Stretching through the shoulder, the hips. Stretch your left hand to the top corner of your mat if that serves you. And you may like to stretch your left leg down to the bottom of the mat as well, straight back. Still with your toes tucked in. Inhale, here, and exhale. Sinking that right shoulder into the ground. Bring your left hand back under your face and your left knee back under your body. Inhale, pushing up through the left hand, unwinding the right hand out to the side, up towards the sky, and then exhaling back down to the mat. And just reset in tabletop. Make sure you're still aligned. Wrists under the shoulders. Left side now. Inhale, stretch your left arm out to the side, up towards the sky. Then exhale, bringing it back down to the mat. Inhale, left arm out to the side, up towards the sky. Then exhale, threading the left arm under the right. Left palm shines up, left face to the ground. This is fine. If you would like to, you can stretch your right hand up the right top corner of your mat and stretch your right leg back, tucking in your toes. Sort of looking under your right arm. Nice stretch through the back body. Take 2 deep breaths here. Turn your right hand under your face and your right knee under your body. Inhale, pushing through the right hand, unwind your left arm out to the side, up overhead, and exhale, bring it back down so it's under you. Beautiful. Tabletop position, crown shines long, tail is pulling backwards. Active through the core. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, hips go high to the sky for downward facing dog. Walk your dog by bending in one knee and then the other. Opposite heel tracks towards the mat. Warming up the hamstrings. Stretching out the back. And then find stillness. Your heels disappearing behind your feet. Pressing into the fingertips. Track your shoulders and chest towards the mat. You may have a bend in your knees or you may have them straight, depends on what suits you today. And just rotate your arms so that the elbow creases are shining forward, broadening through the collarbones and chest. Inhale here and exhale. On the next inhale, right leg goes up to the sky, three-legged dog, tracking that left heel towards the mat. Exhale, knee to nose, right knee towards the nose, rounding through the back. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Might take one go, you might have to step it through or move your hands. Just look forward for a moment in this low runner's lunge, tongue twister, and then drop your left knee to the mat and you can uncurl your toes. Inhale here, sweep your arms forward and up above your head, torso comes up to vertical or Anjaneyasana, low lunge, beautiful. Squeezing those thighs together and pressing through both feet. Inhale here, stretching the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale here, and then exhale and hook the left elbow outside the right knee and look over your right shoulder for a twist in the lunge. Inhale and then come back up, hands to heart center. Exhale and rain your hands forward. Move your hips back and slide your right heel forward for half splits. So we're aiming to have the legs straight over time and the toes pointing towards the shins. Chest shines forward. Looking forward and relaxing the jaw. Letting go of any tension you can detect in the body. Inhale and bring your foot back in between your hands. The front leg is in the square. Exhale here. Inhale, tuck the toes and push back into downward facing dog as you exhale. Just reposition your downward facing dog. Nice and strong through the arms, hips shining up to the sky. Inhale, your left leg raises, three-legged dog on the left side. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding through the back. Inhale, a three-legged dog. And exhale, bring your left foot in between your hands and drop your right knee to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up above your head for Anjaneyasana on the left side. Look at a point in front of you and start to focus on your breath. Tucking in the core, active through the core. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And exhale, bring them to heart center. Inhale here, and on the exhale, hook your right elbow outside your left knee. Wonderful. Looking over the left shoulder. Twist in Anjaneyasana. Nice work. Inhale and come back to center, hands to heart center. Exhale and rain your hands to frame your left foot. Inhale here and then exhale, move your hips back, slide your left heel forward. Half splits on the left side. You may need to cup your hands to give yourself a bit of height, shining your heart space forward. Come back to your breath. Focus on your inhales and exhales. Inhale, bring your left leg in between your hands, left foot in between your hands, planting your hands, tuck in your right toes. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Walk your hands towards your feet. And grab opposite elbows with the hands and hang loosely for ragdoll. Shake the head, nod the head to release the neck. Might like to bend one leg, then the other. Releasing the hamstrings and softening the lower back. And then release the hands to the mat. The head is floppy. And then one by one, stack your vertebrae on top of each other as you roll your spine up until you are standing. Visualize those bones coming into alignment. And just give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls, one way and then the other. Come to the front of your mat and stand in mountain pose. So the feet are about hip width apart. And really anchor your feet into the ground. Just be aware of the little toe mound, big toe mound, and the corners of each of your heels connecting with the earth. Notice the energy coming up through your feet, up your shins, your knees, your thighs, front body. The energy of the earth washing over your face and your skull, and then cascading down your back body, your shoulders, middle back, lower back, buttocks, back of the thighs, the calves, the heels and the soles of the feet. You are anchored to the earth. You're supported and held by the earth. Do a salute to the sun. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. Exhale, and rain your hands forward, bending at the hips. Forward fold. Have your knees bent if that serves you. Inhale for halfway lift, torso parallel with the floor. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on either side of your feet. Inhale here and then exhale into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, then come onto your knees and have your shoulders over your wrists, supported plank. And untuck your toes. Active through the core, pushing up through the shoulders. And just looking slightly forward of your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tuck your elbows in towards your ribs and lower yourself down gently to the mat. Have your hands under your shoulders, elbows tucked into the waist. Inhale and slowly raise your head and shoulders off the mat for baby cobra. Looking straight ahead. And exhale, coming down. Inhale, push up into tabletop. Tuck the toes under and exhale, down facing dog. Inhale and step your left foot in between your hands. The low runner's lunge on the left side. And exhale here. Deep inhale and then push with your right foot. Push off and bring your right foot to meet your left foot in between your hands. For forward fold. Good work. Inhale for halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up, hands out to the side, nice and wide, up overhead, stretching, stretching. And exhale, hands to heart center. Just stand here for a moment, relaxing the shoulders down. Crown stretching up to the sky. We'll do sun salutations B with the warrior poses. So mountain pose to start. Hands facing forward, nice and broad through the collarbones. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. Exhale, rain your hands down, nice flat back as you go down. For forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands at either side of your feet. Inhale, and on the exhale, come back into downward facing dog. Taking a moment to stretch out here, stretching the back closer. Hips up to the sky, back nice and straight. Inhale here. Exhale, knees to the mat, coming into supported plank, shoulders over the wrists. Pushing up through the wrists, through the fingertips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your elbows in towards your ribs and lower down all the way to the mat. Hands under the shoulders, elbows into the waist. Inhale, coming up for baby cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, coming down. Inhale to push up into tabletop. Tuck the toes and exhale, down facing dog. Take a breath in down facing dog. On your next inhale, right leg goes up to the sky. Exhale, right knee comes in between your hands. Foot comes in between your hands. and your right leg is in a square. Your right toes are pointing forward, and your left toes are pointing at 60 degrees, and your left heel is on the mat. Make sure that your right knee is stacked over your right ankle and it's not further forward. You might need to widen your stance if it is. You can be on parallel beams here or on a single beam, depending on your balance. Inhale and stretch your left arm forward. Exhale, coming up for warrior two. Cartwheeling your left hand back. Hands parallel with the floor. So just checking that your hips are facing the left top corner of your mat on diagonal, and your left heel is grounding into the mat. Left thigh is active. And then just look at your right fingertips and your left fingertips and check that they're at the same height. Looking back at your right fingertips, stretching through the chest, and noticing again that connection with the earth that allows us to stretch up, stretch out. Inhale, flip your right hand and point it up to the sky. Left hand goes down to the left thigh, the reverse warrior. Take a breath here. Inhale, stretch your right hand up. And exhale, coming down, right forearm to right thigh. And then the left hand over by your ear, pointing forward. So your chest is facing the left side of your mat. Your left pinky is facing down, so your palm of your left hand is facing to the right. Feel the energy from your left fingertips all the way down to your left heel. Inhale, coming back to warrior two. Take a couple of breaths here, looking along your right fingers. Take an inhale, stretch your arms wide, and on the exhale, rain your hands down to frame your right foot. Left toes point forward. And exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale here. On the exhale, knees come to the mat for supported plank. Shoulders are over the wrists. Inhale here, stretching the crown forward. And exhale, tuck your elbows into your body and lower down to the mat. Hands under the shoulders. Pressing into the tops of the feet so the knees come off the mat. Inhale and come into baby cobra. Elbows into the wrists. And exhale, coming down. Inhale, push up into tabletop, tucking your toes, and exhale for downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, raise your left leg up into the sky, left-legged dog, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your left knee up to your chest, your nose, and then bring your foot in between your hands. Bring your right foot to 60 degrees and put your heel onto the mat. Have your left leg in a square. Inhale and stretch your right arm forward, stretching, stretching. Then exhale, push up into warrior two on the right side. So your left leg is in a square over your left ankle, and your right leg is active. So the thigh at the back is active, pushing away from towards the back of the mat. Check your hands are both level and looking over your left hand. So shoulders are stacked over hips. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale and flip your left palm over. Exhale and raise it up to the sky. Right hand is on the back of the right thigh, reversing your warrior. Inhale, stretch your arm high, and exhale, come into warrior to side angle pose. Your left forearm is on the left thigh, left leg is still in the square. Your right heel is still anchored and active. Swing your right arm forward, so the fingers are pointing forward. The upper arm is by your ear. And your pinky is pointing towards the ground, on the ground side of your hand. Tucking in the left hip and looking to the right. Feel the stretch in your right side body without collapsing in the left side body. Inhale and come back into warrior two. And exhale here. Inhale, stretch your arms wide. And exhale, rain your hands forward to frame your left foot. Right toes point forward. Inhale here and exhale back to downward facing dog. Pressing down and back into downward facing dog. Inhale and then exhale, come into supported plank. Do not work with our arms today. Active in the core. Tuck the elbows into the waist and the lower down to the mat. Hands under the shoulders, pressing through the tops of the feet. Inhale into Cobra. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale, press back into tabletop. Exhale, tuck in the toes and come back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Just noticing how your energy is now. Inhale and look forward towards your hands and then walk your feet up towards your hands into forward fold. On your next inhale, come into half lift, torso parallel the mat, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, palms facing, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Come back into mountain pose. And for a moment, close your eyes. Sense the energy you've created in your body. And again, notice the connection you have with the earth. Through your feet. Up through your legs. Torso to your head. Comes the energy from the earth and then cascading back down again in a never-ending exchange. Okay, open your eyes. We'll take a balance We'll do tree pose. So taking your right foot and just dragging it along the mat and then planting your foot very consciously on the ground. Allow your weight to come into your right foot as you lift up your left foot, first of all, to your ankle. Looking forward at a point of balance. If comfortable, bring your hands to heart center. Force balance. Make sure that your left knee is pointing to the left. And relax down. Putting both feet back on the ground. We'll do the left side now. So drag your left foot onto the ground. Consciously placing those four corners of your foot onto the ground. And then transferring your weight into the left leg. Right sole of the foot comes up to the left ankle. Right knee points out to the side. Looking at your point of balance. And then hands to heart center. Embrace the wobble. Active in the core. Look at that connection with the earth. And your crown shining up to the sky. Inhale. And on the exhale, release the pose. We'll go again on the other side, on the right side this time. So again, anchoring that foot into the mat. Finding your point of balance that you're going to focus on. And raising the left leg, and this time it can come up to your calf, or you might like to have it up to your thigh and put on the calf. When you've got your balance, inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. Arms facing active through the core, the ribs are knitting together, the tailbone is long, and your shoulders are rolling down the back of your body. Relaxing the jaw. Inhale, stretch your arms up, and exhale with control, release the pose. Nice work. Going on the left side now, so anchoring that left foot into the ground. Finding the point of balance. Bringing your right sole of your foot up to your calf or to your thigh. Knee out to the side. When you've got your balance, inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. The tailbone stretches down as the crown stretches tall. You're connected to the earth, you're connected to the heavens. Inhale, stretch your arms long, and exhale, bring them back down and release the pose. Great work. Just give your legs a little shake out. And we'll step wide for a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. So just step your feet out nice and wide and have your toes pointed out slightly to the side. Hands to heart center. We'll do a goddess squat to start with. So going from one side to the other, bending one knee and then the other, coming down lower and lower and lower. Just again, having your tail long and the crown pointing up. Inhale here. And then exhale, relax your hands down, straighten your legs, And come into a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. You might be able to heel toe your feet out a little bit further. Have your hands under your face. Let arms straight. And just feel your flat back. So your crown of the head is shining forward, tailbone is shining back, and you're active in the core. Inhale, stretch your right arm out to the side and up towards the sky, looking at it as it passes you by. And exhale as it comes back down. Inhale, left arm goes out to the side, up towards the sky. And exhale as it comes back down. Now we're going to walk our hands so they're in line with our feet or close to in line with our feet, depending on what level of comfort we have with that. So just walking the hands back slowly. And the elbows bend, bringing our head a little bit closer to the ground. So the elbows are pointing back and the fingers are in line with the toes. Inhale here and then exhale, just tucking your chin into your chest and lowering the crown of your head towards the floor. Doing a stretch in the inner groin, thighs, possibly in your lower back. You can play with the balance a little bit, putting a little bit more weight on your hands, just rocking backwards and forwards very slightly. And then walk your hands forward under your face again. And then heel toe your feet towards the midline until they're under your hips. So your hands are still close to the floor or on the floor in front of you. Have your toes point out to the side and come down into a yogi squat. So your hands are on the floor and you're coming down, lowering your backside towards the floor and your hands at heart center. Nice work. You might be able to use your elbows to push your knees out to the side a little bit. You may have your heels up or down, whatever is comfortable for you. Great work. And then we're going to put our hands down and come back up to a forward fold with wide legs. Then hands on the hips. Inhale, flat back, coming up halfway. Exhale here. And then inhale, coming up, standing. All the way up. Good work. Doing a chair pose now at the front of our mats. So our legs are out, hip width apart. Starting in mountain pose. So we inhale, sweep our hands forward and then up by our ears as we bend our knees and the hips go back for chair pose. As though we were about to sit in a chair and our knees are tracking back as our backside tracks back. We don't want the knees too far over the toes. Nice and strong here. Great exercise for the thighs. Stretching the arms long, stretching. And then exhale and come forward into forward fold. And for this forward fold, we're going to stay a little bit longer than usual. Have your hands on the back of your calves. And you might be able to get your forearms on the back of your calves. And just let your head hang down. Inhale and exhale, looking between your knees. You might like to rock forward a little bit, rock back, and notice what happens to your calf muscles, the thighs, and the back, your back body. Inhale, come into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, hands above the head, and then hands to heart center. Great work. Coming down onto the mat, you might like to play with whether you can cross your legs and come down without putting your hands on the mat, or whether you need your hands behind you to support you. I come down but with a bit of a crash at the end. Yep, put your hands behind you if you need to. Wonderful. Into staff pose. So feet are out in front of you. You might have a bend in your knees or have your knees straight. And your hands are either on your thighs or on the ground next to you, fingers pointing forward. Shoulder blades squeezed together. And again, we have that connection with the earth through our heels, the calves, backs of the thighs, the buttocks, and possibly our hands. We'll do a twist here. So bring your right foot in by your left thigh. Wrap your left arm around your right shin. Inhale, stretch your right arm up to the sky, looking over your right shoulder. Drop it behind you for a twist on the right side. Squeezing your right thigh in tightly. Inhale and stretch up. Nice and tall through the spine. And exhale, twisting. Hit your middle, not the neck. With each inhale, create space in your spine. With each exhale, soften further into the twist. Don't forget to keep your left leg active, left toes pointing towards the shins. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale to twist. Keeping your legs where they are, inhale, and bring your hands around to frame your left hip. And then come back to center. Straighten your right leg out, and the left leg comes in. Left foot is by the right thigh. Wrap your right arm around your left shin and tuck your left thigh in tight. Inhale, stretch your left arm up and over and drop it behind you. Inhaling and stretching tall. Exhaling and turning. Inhale, stretch tall. And exhale to turn. Inhale, leaving your legs where they are. Come around for a counter twist, framing your right hip. And then come back to center. Straight legs. Wonderful. Just to be up nice and tall in staff pose again. And this time we'll put the soles of our feet together, clasp our hands and put them around our feet. So we're holding our feet in our hands for angle pose. And just butterfly your knees up and down. Beautiful. And then relax. With your knees in a comfortable position. So just inhale with a tall back, lowering your shoulders, and then exhale, just bending forward, chin to chest, looking at your navel. And then inhale, come up straight again. Nice work. And coming down onto the mat all the way. When you're down on the mat,
Have your heels behind your buttocks, knees up towards the sky, and your feet hip width apart. Plant your hands on the ground, palms down by your hips. Roll to the left and tuck in your right shoulder blade. Roll to the right and tuck in your left shoulder blade in towards the midline. Ready for bridge pose. Just make sure that your neck is long and your chin is tucked slightly. And keep looking up at the ceiling. Inhale and press through your heels. Hips go up to the sky. Broad through the collarbones. Pressing the hands and arms down into the mat. And exhale, feeling your spine back down to the mat. Vertebrae by vertebrae. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, pressing through the heels, the hips go up to the sky, broad through the chest. Take a breath here, still looking up at the sky, looking up at the ceiling. And relax, sending your tailbone down towards your heels. Then inhale and slowly raise your arms up towards the ceiling, and then overhead. Until your fingers are down on the mat behind you or floor behind you. Inhale, stretch your arms long, and then exhale, bringing your hands back as you lower your spine down to the mat. Hands coming down, spine coming down, in concert with each other. Slowly coming down all the way to the mat. Good work. Bring your knees in towards your chest and hug them tightly. You might like to rock from side to side. And then place your left foot on the mat. Cross your right leg over your left nice and tightly. And drop both hips, drop both knees to the right. Have your hands out until your arms empty, looking to the left. Inhale and expand through that left side body. Exhale as you sink into the earth. Inhale. Exhale, releasing those hips and knees. On the next inhale, bring your knees back to center and change the cross. Right foot is on the ground, left thigh crosses over right thigh nice and tightly, and both knees go to the left. Looking towards your right hand. Inhaling through your right side body. And exhaling as you sink into the mat. Inhaling and then releasing the hips, the knees down towards the mat. Take another breath here. Inhale and bring your knees back to center and send both legs long for relaxation. Allow your feet to drop out to the side. Have your hands next to you, palms up. Make sure you've got length in your neck. Imagine each part of your body relaxing. Feet and ankles relax. Calves and knees relax.
thighs and hips relax. Pelvis relaxes down. Abdomen relaxes. Hands and wrists relax. Elbows and upper arms relax. Shoulders relax. Collarbones relax. Chest relaxes down. Neck relaxes. Jaw and tongue relax. Draw your lips back from your teeth and then settle them into a gentle smile. Raise your eyebrows and stretch your scalp, and then return them softened. Release the skin around your eyes and mouth. As the body relaxes, so the mind follows. Stillness. If thoughts arise, just let them pass like clouds in the sky. The sky of your mind. Allow yourself to be held by the earth, supported and nurtured. And when you're ready, introduce some movement into your fingers and thumbs. Wiggle your toes and feet. You might like to stretch your legs long, your arms overhead. And then curl into a tight ball before rolling to one side. And just rest there for a moment as you integrate the practice you've undertaken today. And when you're ready, come up to sitting as you started, either cross-legged or with your legs out in front of you. Just close your eyes and notice your breath as it comes in and out of your nostrils. Inhale and bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, we bow our thinking minds to our loving hearts in gratitude for practice today, in gratitude for the nurturing earth that serves us, and in gratitude for nature itself. Thank you for sharing the practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and even leave me a comment. Thank you. Bye.